Alright, I'm recording.
Christopher Walken.
Oh,
you know what's funny is I made it a point. Yeah, I need to do that too. I made a point to remember if I count backwards or forwards. I don't remember what my point was.
You don't remember? I need to remember to do one of these, and you can't remember which the one that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me while I go turn off my fan. I'm gonna not even mute the mic because I'm not professional.
This is not a professional podcast.
In spirit, he wants to remember.
Fucking potato chip
Audience,
bag.
dear audience,
Jesus Christ.
In a further note of us not being professional, Nathan said, yeah, we'll probably record around 12 o'clock tonight. And I'm like, okay. It is currently 1:26 a.m. at the beginning of this recording.
Hey, they don't need to know that.
They do. The audience deserves to know the truth, you lying shit.
I
I'm a man of the people.
You're lying shit. Not even piece of shit. Just shit.
You are a shit. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean that's understandable.
You're
Yeah,
not
'cause
even
the
like a
thing
small
is-
piece. You're just a big one.
The thing is, I can't even dispute it either because it is just me being a dick fuck. That is true. It is.
Yeah. Not only was he late to recording the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, he went to Logan's house, which is out of the way, to get a USB that Logan was going to give him tomorrow. And also potentially made Logan wake up his parents. This man is a fucking menace.
I'm pretty sure Mom's still asleep. She would have came and got me if she was woken up. It just threw me off so much that she was actually
Speaking of being
asleep.
a menace, Nathan has decided to hire our mysterious friend Hump as our secretary.
And that
For
was
free.
a topic. That was a topic.
Wow, we're really just going deep into this. Right
I'm
Dylan's
I'm
cutting
not letting
in.
you give your explanation of what you did, Nathan. I'm giving the people the truth.
All right.
So, no,
Dylan,
no,
can I say
shut up.
one thing?
No,
just
fuck
one thing,
you.
please.
Fuck you.
I'm just genuine. I need one
kill
thing.
yourself.
One thing.
Kill yourself. Anyway,
One thing.
Nathan
One
hired
thing.
Hump as our secretary.
I
and
will
he
literally
did it
kick you
for
from this Discord call.
Fucking
just
do
go
it.
to bed.
Literally, you can suck my entire nutsack and then rim me. I don't give a shit. Anyway, Nathan
I was just
hired...
gonna do the intro. Is the one thing I wanted
Hello,
to say.
welcome to the Bloomfeld podcast. It's a podcast about nothing, and sometimes Nathan being a piece of shit. We're glad to have you here. Anyway,
All right, thank you. At least, thank you.
Nathan,
Hi, I'm Logan.
I'm Nathan. I'm
you
supposed
know
to be
who
the
I
host.
am. Well, when you can be a good host and not be a shit, then maybe I won't take over your podcast.
All right, fine. You can continue with your statement.
So Nathan hired our dear friend Hump as a secretary to help manage scheduling, because clearly Nathan is incapable of doing that himself as the podcast manager, hence us being an hour and a half behind schedule and
Yeah,
not
because
having
Hump
an
hasn't really
episode
been
up.
able. Hump hasn't really been able to help us with the scheduling yet because it's a very recent thing. So
Yes.
it's still kind of
And-
our responsibility for this week and maybe next week.
Hump is not getting paid for this, obviously, because none
none
of
of us
us
get
are getting
paid for it.
Well, yes, I'm aware of that, but we knew what
Not
we were
yet.
signing up for. When we were brought into the fold, and I understand that Hump volunteered to do this, but you're still exploiting him for free labor that is literally inherently part of your job description, aka scheduling your own fucking podcast.
And I was hanging out with him one day, and he wanted to help. And I was
I
talking to him.
understand that.
I was talking to him. It's like, all right, what you want to help with? It's like I can help with scheduling and just anything else that you really need me to do. Just if you want me to help. I was like, all right, cool. That's the scheduling's the big one since we're shit at it. So that would be nice.
So one of us is shit at it. Me and Logan can usually be pretty forthcoming about when we can or can't record. And I know you and Logan have similar, erratic work schedules. Logan also, even if you say you're on your way and Logan hasn't, Logan is usually in the Discord call before you are.
That happened exactly tonight.
That happened tonight.
It takes me a minute to get in the call because I got to set up the booth.
It's still, if you say I'm about to be on and Logan doesn't say anything and he manages to get here before you, how does that reflect upon you, Nathan, as the host of the Bloomfeld podcast?
Are you interviewing me all of a sudden? What the fuck was that wording?
He just hit you with the title. That's like hitting you with your full government name.
It's like, if the podcast is going to be after your namesake and you can't even run it, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, God.
That's all I'm asking, alright?
So personally, my day has been going really well.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I sat down on my ass and I watched a bunch of Clone Wars episodes. Like, I watched the entire, not the first third, but the second and third thirds of season 1. And I'm almost on season 2 again. Because I've just been in a Star Wars kind of mood these past couple weeks. But yeah, Nathan was outside my house. Well, I got 3 missed calls and I was like, oh, it must be time to record. And he picks up the phone when I call him back, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm outside your house." It's like, what the
fucking piece of shit, absolute piece
of
shit.
I legit went into panic mode because Nathan coming over to my house unsolicited, that's perfectly normal. What's not normal is him being here when everyone else is asleep.
Yeah,
it's like, I gotta make a plan.
See, that's the duality of man. Nathan can drop by at Logan's house whenever he wants, wouldn't be a problem. If Nathan came up to my house unsolicited, I would have a shotgun in my hands.
I would die. I have to, full-on doctor's appointment scheduled going to Dylan's house.
Yes, because I believe in punctuality, you piece of shit.
I mean, yeah.
Nathan, the amount of times you have literally been explicitly told to invite me to a function via text, which would take 5 seconds, and you haven't done it in high school and college and even nowadays. I mean, there's a reason I hold you to such standards. Because you need them.
I mean, it's fair. It's fair.
I've dropped all standards for all human beings.
I mean, that's fair. I here's the thing. I shouldn't be surprised or disappointed whenever Nathan inevitably is just a late piece of shit. But it's just always going to bother me. Because I'm a psychopath.
It was great. If people actually sit down and, they watch my my streams on Twitch, so you actually would have gotten a sneak preview of this argument.
Yeah, you would have gotten the first bit of me tearing into Nathan.
Yeah. If you watch the post upload on YouTube, whenever I get to putting that up there, you won't be able to see Nathan's arguments on it. I think we read them off out loud, but Nathan was basically having an argument with Dylan in the chat. And at one point he responded in all caps. Because Dylan's like, why are you putting responsibilities off and not asking one of us? And Nathan just responds in all caps, you didn't want any extra responsibilities!
Yeah, that's the thing, Nathan. And that's the thing. You're right. I'm just like talent. I don't do anything like PR. I don't do things like PR, like the Twitter account, like Logan does, and I don't manage scheduling like you do since you're the manager of the podcast. But I also, Nathan, am not going to one of our friends and saying, hey, do you want to do my job for me for free? I'm not substituting in someone else to sit and say the jokes for me on the podcast.
Okay, first, I don't think what I'm asking of Hump is that much, because it's just scheduling. That is all he's helping with right now.
No, I'm not
just scheduling. I still edit these things. I still upload them. I still put descriptions. I still have all of
put the description, because it's so hard to type a sentence about what the podcast is about.
Hey, I just set up so much of it, though.
If you want, I will start writing descriptions. Yeah, you're mooching off Logan's internet. If you care about the descriptions, I'll write the descriptions. I don't give a shit to do that. And Nathan, it's not about what you're the load of labor you're offsetting on Hump. It's the fact that it is explicitly your job. That's why. That's why I'm giving you shit.
Hey, look. It's just Hump wanted to help. That's just the best thing I could think of, because we don't got much else going on to really help with.
What about the descriptions? Apparently writing the descriptions a Herculean task.
I mean, technically you could do that now, Dylan, because you have channel access.
Oh, yeah, I do.
You do have channel access. Just don't mess with them.
I could have corrected that typo in episode 16, but did I?
I think it's still up, actually. I think it's still the typo. I haven't gone and changed it yet.
No, you changed it.
That's another thing, Nathan. You gotta fucking...
You definitely changed
ask me if you can get one word in, and then say you're gonna kick me from the call. It's like, motherfucker, I've got channel access.
That's true.
You can delete the channel.
I will slip Logan a 20 to tweet that you're a cocksucker. I don't give a shit.
I feel like you do that for free, though.
Maybe, but... Literally, even if he would offer to do it for free, I will tip that man $20 out of
We're
respect.
just gonna pull up twitter.com.
Are you actually just gonna put in like my personal channel as a cocksucker?
Yes. No, not even just your channel.
no.
You as a person, you as a living entity, your entire purpose is to be one that sucks cock.
One that sucks cock.
There are
Yes,
less
my favorite
cocksuckers at a
Sonic
pride
character, Suck
parade.
the Cock.
I feel like I should censor that word, honestly.
Fuck
What,
you,
cock?
bitch.
No, cock's fine. Well, even though that's kind of a rough one to some people. But I feel like the term cocksucker is, I don't know.
Nathan, if I find out you censored the cocksuckers in this episode, next episode, every single word of my dialogue will be and I won't say it over and over and over again, so you just put one large censor bleep. It will be like every minute.
It's just in the middle of one of me and Logan's conversations.
Yes. Yes.
Just in the background.
I was gonna say, if you censor cocksucker, then how will people know I'm talking about the greatest Sonic character of all time, Suck the Cock?
I saw a Sonic character on Reddit earlier called Cock the Roach. I
Cock
shit you
the
not.
Roach.
I shit you not.
That's pretty amazing. Okay, fine. I'll leave it uncensored because.
Okay. Also, now that my rant and exposing the truth to our dear audience is over, Nathan, you want to spin your stupid fucking wheel and pick the topic?
I mean, we don't have any numbers yet. What do you guys want?
2. Because I just got done shitting on you.
I'll go with what I order at McDonald's, the number 3.
All right, so
That's
I'm
the
one
Big
then.
Mac, is it?
The Big Mac is number 1.
Oh,
the
shit.
double quarter pounder is
Oh yeah, the
number
double
3.
quarter pound is good.
All right, so number 1 is the topic.
That's you, Nate.
That is me. All right, so I'm gonna.
By the way, it's just Nathan is a cocksucker, Dylan. Is that what I'm tweeting?
I mean, if you feel so inclined, I would very much appreciate that.
I
Okay,
mean, I
just sign
can't
it.
stop you.
You know you can't.
Actually, do I even have access to the? I don't even know if I have access to the Bloomfeld
That's
Twitter.
great.
You have access to it. I just don't think you know what the access code is anymore.
I don't know what the password is anymore. No.
Perfect.
Oh wait, shit. I'm gonna Nathan, you go ahead. I'm actually gonna sign this one by Dylan because then I can gaslight people to thinking that Dylan is secretly on Twitter when he isn't.
I mean, if you ever want to field me for tweet ideas on behalf of the Twitter account, I will do that. All you have to do is text me and be like, "Hey, you got a tweet of the day? I'll give you one."
I just got
will
added
probably
onto- I
use
just
the
got
word
the
cum.
notification. I got the notification on my phone.
Well, you're about to get it again because this is the correct version. You may be looking at the deleted one now.
Yeah, you can't alert. Okay, there's another at.
This has been a very productive episode so far, audience.
this is my favorite intro to an episode we've ever done.
no.
All right, Nathan, begin your topic.
Christ. Oh my god. All right. So basically, I'll start this off with oh god. So the title of the topic is I'm a sad person.
As if that was a fucking mystery.
So yeah, we're not going into the depressed route. Well, okay, maybe a little, but basically I just want examples of things that you guys have done or thought about doing or whatnot that in the grand scheme of things you think is kind of sad or kind of pathetic. Because I have one that I recently did, and people might not think much about this one, but I don't know. So
All right, well, what was yours?
Yeah, say yours while we think of ours.
So the other night I was laying in bed and I was sad, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I just thought, it's like, man, I need to find a way to make myself go to sleep and maybe feel better about myself. And so I decided, all right, fine, I'm gonna get one of those body pillows that you hug in the middle of the night to pretend that you actually have someone.
I'm gonna end your fucking bloodline.
So I ordered one. It's a blank body pillow, by the way. There is no male or female with sexually pleasing genitalia or whatever. So
Why was
Sexually
that
pleased.
the most corporate family safe scientific bullshit jargon I have ever heard?
Wait, hold on, Jamie. Roll that back. Can we just talk about how Nathan said sexually pleasing genitalia?
That honestly feels worse to say than an attractive dick. Sexually attractive genitalia. That should be
Damn.
censored.
Damn, girl, you got that sexually attractive genitalia, pussy.
Wife. Hello there, wife, who I've been married to in holy matrimony for 25 years. I would like you to know that you have a very sexually attractive genitalia. That's what you sound like.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that reminds me how I did an impression of you on the fucking stream.
Wait, me?
Yes.
All right. Well, okay.
I made a lot of. We made a lot of fun of you on that stream, Nathan.
It was
you
great.
You
Please,
fucking asshole.
yes, audience, if you want even more of the beginning, 10 minutes of the podcast of me shitting down Nathan's throat, check out Logan's stream. You should check it out anyway, because it's fantastic. But definitely check out that
baby.
one.
All right.
Okay, we'll
Nathan,
talk about that in a
continue.
minute.
I'm sorry.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Continue.
So yeah, I bought a body pillow. Right, it's a blank body pillow, and it's designed to where one half of it's warm and absorb heat, and the other half is a cold side, basically when you're hot. And so it came in yesterday, and I used it last night.
I don't like the term "used it."
What else do you want me to do? Sleep
it?
with it?
I don't know. Not used it.
All right, fine.
I slept with it.
I slept with it. I used the body pillow for its intended purpose last night.
Stop speaking like a fucking robot. I swear to God, I'm about to drive in the middle of the night to your house with a baseball bat.
All right, but anyway, yes, I hugged the body pillow while I was sleeping last night, and it was the best night's sleep I've had in months. And I feel like that says a lot about me for some reason.
It really does.
Oh God. And I'm gonna use it again, unabashed. I don't give a fuck. It is. I get good sleep finally, and I want more. I'm an addict now. So yeah. Anything else that you feel like's in a similar vein to you guys?
No, but I'm gonna learn blacksmithing, forge a sword for the sole purpose of running you through with it.
God. God.
So, just something we've done or thought about doing that just made us think, oh God, I'm pathetic.
Kinda, yeah. Because for me, I went through with it.
Oh God, thinking I'm worth anyone's time. So that was a good one. In terms of really serious ones, probably just a lot of things in my life in general, really, very small, innocuous things that I've made peace with.
Right.
Growing up, I had no interest in driving a car. Most people, when they hit the age of 14, 15, they're like, oh, all right, gonna get that learner's permit. And then when I'm 16, I'm fucking driving out of that fucking bitch with my car. Yeah, I was the guy. I was like, bro, I ain't got no friends.
I'm right there with you. I was not excited to drive.
I don't mind driving. I actually do enjoy it to a degree now that I'm good at it.
Allegedly.
I know how to do it. I know how to do it. But the problem is, the thing about me was that I didn't have a reason to drive. I was homeschooled. I don't know if I've dropped that one on the pod yet. I didn't have to worry about driving anywhere. I didn't really want to get a job at 16, and plus, I think at the time my mom was against me getting a job at that age anyway.
Child labor.
So I just want to stay home and play video games. So yeah, that's pretty pathetic, honestly, looking back. And there's nothing wrong with getting your license late. My mother did. It didn't stop her from fucking driving because things were different back then.
Yeah.
Fun fact about this would never happen today because they're such different people now. But fun fact about my folks, my dad was a bit of a party guy back in the day, and when he would take mom with him, or just in general would go out and party, he'd get shit faced as fuck, completely uncontrollably drunk, and my mother had to drive him home on more than one occasion when she didn't have a license.
Yeah.
As goals right there.
Stuff like that 30 years ago and beyond, that was very common.
It's one of my favorite stories because it's the one thing my dad is always is embarrassed about whenever you talk about is how much he used to drink. And it wasn't even like he was an alcoholic. He would just, go to a party and he'd get shit faced.
Yeah, sometimes.
Maybe he was an alcoholic. I don't know. Maybe they're lying to me.
Oh God.
Nah.
Oh.
Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I'm pathetic. Yeah. Yeah, I also have very kind of like, I guess you consider like pessimistic views on myself. Not to get too personal here, but I don't set a high bar. So
I don't think any of us do, to be honest.
I'm
I mean, I
I'm
set the bar
very
at a
okay.
podcast, so
I mean, that's, you at least put a bar somewhere, you know.
fair enough.
For me, I'm also, it's a twofold thing. One, I'm doing this because I want to. I'm just giving up. Secondly, I'm doing this just because I think it'll improve me as a person in some ways, to just learn to go with the flow and not be such an uptight person. I just don't have a goal, you know. Like I'm very content with where my life is and not really looking to really strive for something crazy. And that's not inherently a bad thing. There's plenty of people out there that are very okay with just going with the motions through life because that's just the type of person they are. Generally though, most people like had to have goals and stuff like that. So I don't know, that could be seen as pathetic, in a sense. What about you, Dylan? You got anything?
Well, probably the most recent thing where it's like, damn, what am I doing? Why am I like this? Why am I this sad? Over the past few months, I've been watching Adventure Time because I had only seen probably like half of the series, like growing up as a kid. I never saw the rest of it. And I have now finished Adventure Time. So probably the saddest thing in the past month for me was crying for 2 hours straight after finishing a childhood cartoon at the same time that I'm no longer a teenager. So that was a very
That's right.
intense experience because Adventure Time has the finale, it has a series finale, but then they did a short like mini series after it. They did it actually back in 2020. It's pretty recent, and it's got 4 episodes, and 2 of them are basically finales in their own right because they like expand on it more, and it hurts a lot. So yeah, saying goodbye to a show I absolutely loved as a kid and really enjoyed watching it again as an adult, and also like accepting that I'm now 20. It's just like, damn.
I feel like that's fair, especially with like the symbolism it has with transitioning from, like you said, a teen to an adult, and how different things were when you first watched that show to how it
Yeah.
is now when you watch it as an adult. I
Yeah.
I bet it hit kind of hard.
It hit very hard because there's 3 episodes. There's the finale, which like has a montage of basically like how the characters end up, and then the other 2 episodes are after that, and it wraps up the threads even more. And it's like one of the episodes is like really beautiful because it overall has a happy ending, and the other one also arguably has a happy ending, but the journey to that happy ending is fucking painful.
Yeah, like a bittersweet type.
Yeah, I mean, the end of episode, I think it's 3 or 4 of Adventure Time Distant Lands will make you cry.
Yeah, I think we've all at some point had that same like realization. I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan also hit that when he hit 20, because I know I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of
Not even really, just the kind of the weird age of like, okay, I'm 20, doesn't feel much different than 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And the realization for me was last year, dealing with a lot of really adult things. And I'm still dealing with it. Like, I'm dealing with a lot of shit that I never thought I would deal with as a person.
Same.
And college is a big part of that now. I'm surprised. Like, it's been almost a year since I started college, and I feel like an entirely different human being. My outlook on life is different. My politics have changed. My entire viewpoint on the earth, and my like a lot of my interests. I wouldn't say have changed. They've expanded more, for sure. But it really hits you like one day, like halfway through my first semester, I want to say, when I started going in person, and I started doing these classes, and I started like doing it. Like, I'd say like the first F I brought home was, that one hit me really hard. It was like, I tried really, really hard on that test. It was the first test I did in my networking class, and I got an F. Like, I got like a 68, like just enough to miss the mark So that was probably
Just
when we
needed
had
one
D.
more point.
Either way, I failed is the point. I probably technically counted as a D. I don't even know if my college does Ds. Funny Ds. I worked so hard and I got basically nothing in return. And when you do that for something real, like it's one thing to do something, put a lot of effort into something and fail in your day-to-day life, but when you do something like that, like in college, something that's super serious, because that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life, that really punches you in the face.
Yeah,
and I've had a lot of those in the past year alone, and the past 3 months, Nathan can tell you, the last 3 months for me have been hell. And is not, I've never wanted to go back in time more than I do now.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nathan. I know you're trying to jump in here.
That's fine. Yeah. For a little bit of context, I guess, Dylan was just he was really recently, actually, just a couple days ago, even Dylan, like a week or so maybe, but Dylan turned 20. He was the youngest of us. I've been 20 for a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna be 21 in a few months, and Logan's already 21. So, not really that old, honestly. We're really young, but the transition though from being a teenager, basically a kid, and starting to turn into an adult and having to figure that out and what that means to you it's hard because it's a lot. It's overwhelming, really.
Yes.
And that transition to where things will never be the same because that's just not how life works.
Yeah.
Especially for the transition from a young adult to a full-grown adult it's a lot, especially for people like us who weren't really ready for it.
No.
Especially since me and Dylan's transition into adulthood was through the pandemic.
Yes.
We graduated in 2020, went to college in 2020 and 2021, and it was fucking awful every minute of it. And it felt like our lives just ended, went through a period of nothing and bullshit, and then just got spit out on the other side of 2022. And having it feel like you have a full year of your life just wasted and missing, and also that being the year that's really important because it's a transitional year, fucking sucks.
Yeah. Well, part of the thing for me that, I thought, the transition from 19 to 20 won't be that bad because, the transitions is from my childhood to being a teen from, each individual teen year was difficult because, I had a lot of stuff that, weighed on me as, emotional baggage throughout those years. But then, as I'm 19, I'm just about to turn 20. I'm not going to get into details, but there's basically a potential looming diagnosis within my family, and that might be the most difficult thing I've ever had to deal with in my entire life, just as I'm now turning 20, and it's oof. Yeah, things have been rough.
Life really does come at you fast, and it's funny looking back, you talk about this heavy transitional period, and to me, it starts to lose more and more meaning as we go along. As I'm sure we're going to feel this as we go along even further in life.
Right.
Because, it's like when you hit, your parents, for example. Your parents never get overexcited about their birthday. Why? Because it's just another year. We're still hitting those transition periods. And you mentioned how the teenage years were super crazy. But that's because, I feel like every age you hit, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, there's always something different to expect because something major is changing. Physically, obviously, but also your life just seems to move at a mile a minute when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
I mean, time flies anyway, and it definitely feels like the days get shorter and shorter and shorter as I get older. But there's something about going through every year as a teenager where you just feel like you're just becoming a different person every day. I guess if we want to get a little philosophical here for a second, perhaps hitting 20. Oh God, something's coming. Okay, sorry about that. There was a burp. Yeah, my philosophy gets me off. Anyway, perhaps like you said, that transition to 20 and how life-shattering it's been for all three of us is just a culmination of all those rapid changes. Maybe now it's finally hit their apex because now it's not just you as a person changing physically, it's your entire world. Because, no matter what changes between the ages of 13 to 14 to 15, you're still living at your parents' house. You're still not working. You're just you're going from middle school to high school. It's the general things that you're expecting.
Mm-hmm.
We're hitting the ages now where we're adults. We don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Like anything could happen. And I can, personally, I can speak for myself here. I definitely not expected anything that's happened in the past year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's with myself and just people around me. Like, life has been wild.
Yes. Well, I think with turning 20, it's like the realization, it's like, you're never going to be a teenager again. Because I remember back when I turned 13, and it's like, oh my god, I'm finally a teenager now. And, like, even though the teenage years were fast, up until, like, I was, like, 17, it didn't feel like me being a teen was going to end anytime soon. And now it has. Like, 6 of the most formative years of my life are over, and I know the next 5 to 10 years of my life I'm gonna face in my 20s is also gonna be incredibly, like, formative into the person I become.
Yeah, what's really scary about adulthood is the overwhelming just landfall of responsibilities that are hitting all of a sudden. Like, you go from high school, you have to raise your hand and ask someone if you go take a fucking piss, to eventually being like, okay, what are you going to do to support yourself and potentially a family for the rest of your entire fucking life? It's like,
Yeah, no, the family ain't happening.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But like, the idea of having to get a job and, like, support yourself, and the requirements to get that, like, career is years of schooling that costs a lot of money. It's weird. It's so weird. Especially for someone like me who's so aimless. I really don't know what I want to do. I have some aspirations, but I have so many of them that barely any of them trump the other. It feels like I have, like, 20 different things I want to do and not a single one I can really decide on.
Yeah.
But you don't have the time.
Jedi.
I wish I could. But in this life, you don't really have the time, and especially whenever you're in a case like the three of us, where we're not, like, we're not poor, I guess, by any means of imagination, but, like, we don't have infinite funds just to go just chase random dreams and have enough money for schooling for whatever the hell we want. You still need to have expectations and the reality of what you can and can't do when it comes to time and resources.
Yeah.
So you have to just settle down and pick one thing, even if you have a bunch of aspirations to do, really.
Not to mention where life is just not very fair. Some of us have lost a drive here and there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it kind of ruins the confidence, any confidence or any sort of motivation you have. Like, I'm sure, like, I don't mean to speak for you, but Dylan, I'm sure you and I are both in the boat of, man, fuck this.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is bullshit. And it always, it's not fun hitting that because, I'll be transparent here. Like, as someone who's had depression for a long time, self-diagnosed, I should add, maybe that has an impact on it. Maybe I'm
yeah,
not
but I
depressed at
don't
all.
think
Maybe
you
I'm
need
stupid,
a doctor's
but...
note to tell you if you want to kill yourself or not.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
as someone who's had severe depression growing up, from like age 12 or 13 and beyond, motivation's hard to come by.
Incredibly
and
so.
Reaching adulthood now has only taught me, now that I'm making my own decisions to a point, like, I feel like I'm at the point now where I don't have a direction in life or motivation or determination, and for the first time I'm okay with that, just because it's like, fuck it. it just kind of sucks, especially with all the things that life hits you with. You just kind of eventually you just tap out. You're like, you know what, we're gonna play the waiting game for some time here and just do the bare minimum. Maybe you tried, maybe you jumped up to the stars and reached for them, and maybe you burned your hand because the star's actually really extremely fucking hot and you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you're down here on Earth and you have no hands, and now you don't know what to do with your little nubblies. You just gotta find something else.
Yeah, pretty much.
You gotta look at life from a different perspective when you have no hands. Like, how can I jerk off like this?
How can I...
No, here's the thing.
Sharpener.
I think I could manage to jerk off with no hands, but, like, scratching my ass, I'm essentially going to be fisting myself now. Like,
You just gotta get some really good force in there. Just start rubbing, like the heat scratch is what I call it. That's what happens.
It's coming in really hot.
That's
Well,
a,
no,
that's a trick I developed as a kid. When you get bug bites real bad and you start scratching your leg, you start bleeding, you're like, shit. And then you just start rubbing really fast. It gets hot. And it's like, there you go. That's the heat scratch.
just make a sandpaper gauntlet for the nub and just let it rip.
Wiping my ass with the sandpaper nub.
The fuck?
Hard times, that.
Oh, God.
Insert Avengers theme here.
I wish I had my kazoo. I should start bringing that on.
I could get mine. Mine's not far away, but I don't feel like it.
That's fair enough. All right, we'll go ahead and transition to the other topic. A lot of thoughtful insight, really, boys. I actually enjoyed that.
Actually, I do want to say before we switch to the topic, that like last segment we just did, honestly, like I know I've joked before that I should make the sister podcast to this one, Curb Your Pessimism. I honestly, that might be a fun thing to do. It would definitely be way less frequent than the Bloomfeld podcast, but audience, let us know if you would be interested in basically that last segment as a podcast, like once, maybe twice a month. Curb Your Pessimism.
I mean, we could just make it. We could make it a
boys.
spin-off. We could just make it a spin-off segment of.
That's
Bloomfeld.
true.
We can just.
I can
upload
always put
it
on the
here.
same YouTube channel.
That's what I mean. Like instead of being Bloomfeld, it's like it's part of the Bloomfeld family. It's like a franchise. We'll make it a franchise. This will be that'll be Dylan's thing.
It will be the Joey to Friends, as in far less good but still not bad.
We can't all be
can-
we can't all be King of Queens to Everybody Loves Raymond.
We can start putting the VODs and whatnot from your streams on the Bloomfeld channel. Like you said, it could be like a franchise instead of just the podcast part.
Oh well, I'm gonna upload those to my personal channel anyway. But I mean, I guess I could.
I mean, we at least want that clip of us arguing over a stream.
Yeah, actually, we were talking
That'd be
about
a
it.
good one to
I did pull it up.
Wait, you did?
I think I found it because I started making fun of how you would introduce Hump as a manager.
Oh yeah, that's another. Oh, I didn't even include that in the frame. I'll keep this brief. Yeah, dear audience, Nathan said, "Yeah, I'm bringing Hump into the podcast. He's gonna be like another manager," and it's like, how in the fuck is he gonna be a manager when he hasn't even been in an episode yet?
Yeah, and I just started. I was wrong, Dylan. He didn't open the episode with that because you came in too hot this time. I was really I like pretended to be you, and I was like, so we got a manager now, guys. Is Hump? We got Hump.
Yeah, where's
as
the
our
impression
manager.
of me? I want to hear the impression of me.
I mean, I don't have a good voice impression, but that's basically what I ended up saying. I'll link it to you. After.
It's not difficult to like impersonate your like cadence of the intro, because I remember one time you guys asked me to do an impression, and that's just what I did, because I'm not really good with voice impressions. I can do a Bernie Sanders voice, and that's it.
Here's the thing about impersonating Nathan.
I feel like we all have very separate cadences of like speech as well. Like we all
That's
speak
true.
very differently as well.
My speech is a fucking clusterfuck.
Anytime I hear myself on this podcast, I'm like, I should not be here, and I should kill myself.
No, basically what I do when I impersonate Nathan, I just kind of take forever to get to the point. Yeah, just speak
Damn it.
unintelligibly and never get to your point.
Well, I wouldn't say it's unintelligibly. I just feel like it's like it when Nate. It's like, all right, here's the difference between someone else describing a Reese's cup and Nathan describing a Reese's cup. Someone eating a Reese's cup is like, peanut butter and chocolate. That's delicious. Nathan's like, I've always loved peanut butter and chocolate. The fact that it's in a sweet combination and it's with a second cup in one package is just awesome.
Do I really speak like a keynote speaker all the time?
Nathan, I literally bullied you earlier for saying sexually attractive genitalia. Yes, you do.
I'm sorry, I can't. It's just.
But here's the thing. You're right. That is how you impersonate Nathan, is by never getting to the point and going into too much detail sometimes. The way you impersonate me is to, like, stutter and stumble over your words and be angry and yell.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing way too hard.
I feel like a good impression of Logan, all your sentences have to start out at a decent, like a normal tone, and then you just get lower and lower. Like, I swear Logan's voice goes lower as he talks.
Probably.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like, here's a perfect way to impersonate me. Pretend that you're driving and some, like, stupid pedestrian just walked out in the street and now you're yelling at them. Because that's how me and Nathan's relationship is.
And that's why Dylan hates driving.
But that's like half the way I riff on this podcast and get my bits is just by calling Nathan a piece of shit. Because
I feel like
he is.
I feel like the easiest way to impersonate Dylan is just to be like, so yeah, yesterday I was watching Adventure Time, and it's pretty fucking poggers, just like the head Nate's mom gives me. And,
Drop the fact that Nate's mom gives me head every like other sentence. Just like it's every other day when she gives me head.
Someone do an impersonation of me. That's a loud silence.
But no, here's the thing, is like, I know your speech patterns, but like it's kind of hard for me to like put it into words of how to explain it. I think what Nathan said, I think Nathan had the right idea of over time, like your voice just gets lower.
Yeah, because
if I'm gonna be completely honest, I just don't give a shit.
do I really? I talk like Alex Jones? No, I was gonna. I start out loud because I have to get y'all's attention because you just talk. You'll talk over me if I don't.
Yes,
that's what I do.
No, here's an impersonation, Logan. Yeah, so I was walking my dog the other day. And everything was fine. It was a sunny day. It's an example. And everything was going fine. And then the dog, it ran out the road and it died. So that's where my life's at right now. So it like starts off enthusiastic, just like gets monotone kind of at the end.
That deserves an applause. That's actually really good. I like that. I would say that.
So the other day I was playing Scott Pilgrim, and this fucking asshole decided he was gonna come up and just kick me right in my ass, and then I was sad.
And then I was sad. Yeah, you gotta add that in there.
All right, I want someone to do an impression of me because I feel like that hasn't happened yet.
I mean,
impersonate what? Like a random example, or like things you've actually said, and just do my own take on it.
What's your favorite thing that I've said?
I mean, I can riff off how you do
sexually attractive genitalia.
I mean, that's low hanging fruit.
I would do the intro. Okay. I would do it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bloomfeld podcast. It's the podcast about nothing and sometimes something. No. I'm joined by my co-hosts Logan at Logan the Kid on Twitch and Twitter. And Dylan, and then that's when I would cut in and say you're a cocksucker or some shit.
All right, that was good.
That was pretty good.
One critique. You have to say Bloomfeld longer. Welcome to the Bloomfeld podcast.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
You got to put more umph into it, you know?
Yeah.
Make it marketable.
we have we eventually get a toy line. And Nathan has a pull string like Woody from Toy Story, and that's what he does. Bloomfeld podcast.
I do. We all have like pull strings, and then I just said the intro. Logan just says, "I'm done with this shit" or something like that, and then Dylan just says something about fucking my mom.
No, mine is literally just.
No, it's a censor bleep. It's a censor bleep.
Yeah, it's a censor bleep.
And then you could get the limited edition rare version that just does say.
No, if we ever did release a toy line and there was a Nathan that said the intro with a pull string, we should release the first camera video footage on the channel, and it's just me ripping that thing in half by pulling the cord super hard.
Our first ever video of video footage on the channel. It's Dylan in a Chick-fil-A eating a spicy deluxe while punching the Nathan action figure into the spicy sauce.
I have thought. Here's what I think the if we do the Curb Your Pessimism series, what the trailer should be. It's literally just going to be me alone in a Burger King with the crown on, eating and crying while eating a Whopper, while I'm trying to sing the "Do What You Want Because a Pirate Is Free, You Are a Pirate" song.
You've talked. Yeah, I remember that. You told us that years ago.
Yes, and I will never forget that because it is still one of the things I so badly want as a trailer or a video, just for no reason.
Spin the wheel, Nathan.
All right, okay. I already did.
Okay, well, who is it?
I do that when I get nervous.
Okay, well, Nathan, you spun the wheel. Is it 2 or 3?
It is 3.
All right, you're up, Logan.
All right, so Leviticus 12:3.
Oh.
On the And then the Lord said, on the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised.
Now, audience, I'll give you context. As funny as it would be to leave you without context, the reason Logan is saying that is because, we have a topic channel in Discord, and one of the topics I put in like 3 weeks ago was dreaming about having your foreskin again, and Logan immediately replied with a Bible verse related to that.
So Dylan, do you think we can do this topic in a short matter, or is this actually something very deep you wanted to talk about?
The dream one, no, it's pretty short.
All right, then this is going to be a shared topic.
All right.
Let's talk about foreskin, Dylan.
What?
Oh,
Okay.
no.
And how we've never had our...
Yeah, fellas, dreams are very weird. It is amazing what your mind can simulate. Like, you can make entirely, new people who you have never seen before and don't exist in your head. I actually had that this morning, because I'm getting off topic, but I had a dream this morning where a girl was giving me her phone number, and I woke up right as she did it, and I'm like, damn,
That's just mean.
I want to die. Here's the thing, is there was, back when I was on vacation, a week ago, I went in this one store, and the cashier was kind of cute, and I thought about asking her for a number, but I'm like, what would be the point, because, I live, an hour and a half, 2 hours away from here, so I didn't do it, obviously, but then I had a dream that she gave me her number, and I'm like, fuck.
Motherfucker can't do long distance.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to drive an hour every time I want to see someone.
You've never been in love,
Anyway.
Dylan.
Show me those titties, bitch.
Okay, honestly...
Hurry up. I'm getting weird stares.
You have a good point.
Critical?
I'm probably down bad enough. I would drive halfway across the state every time I wanted to see my girlfriend.
Oh, I drive on the
Anyway.
other side of the country. I'd go to California.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a time where I was talking to this chick from California, and I thought, I'm like, I could make the road trip. I didn't,
Yeah.
but
I would drive to Ohio for a girl.
that's okay, Nathan. We're on the East Coast. That's not a long drive.
Nathan.
No, I feel like the sentiment of going to Ohio is good enough.
I guess
okay,
that's true.
he's that's fair.
He's got a point.
That's fair. Your Honor, League of Legends.
Anyway,
Execution.
so beyond us being sad and getting rejected even in our dreams, yeah, I also, a couple weeks ago, had a dream, and as Logan joked, yeah, obviously we're all from America, and America, much like Jews, most dudes get circumcised, and so that's the case for all of us, and I just had a dream that I had foreskin. Which was really weird that my brain could simulate having a body part it never had, and how it would function and how it would feel.
Well, you've watched enough porn at this point. I'm sure your body could just kind of.
I mean, yeah, but there's so much, the amount of dolphin noses versus mushroom tips you see in porn. It's like a 1-to-10 ratio. You never see uncirced dudes.
I wonder if people search for uncircumcised porn.
Yes.
I mean, probably.
Because I think they do, because I think that there's a big debate on whether or not it feels better to have it or if it's fine without it, in terms of the guy's pleasure. And this is getting a lot raunchier than I really intended.
I don't know.
Not gonna lie, me answering yes quickly to that question made me seem a little sus.
That reminds me of back in, I think it was middle school. Yeah, it was middle school. I had this random friend that I have never seen him ever again after middle school.
Uh-huh.
So, but I just had this random friend. I think it was 7th grade, so it was before me and Dylan had ever met. And we were pretty good friends. And he came to me one day. He's like, dude, I had the weirdest fucking dream last night. And it's like, all right, man, what is it? I'm really curious. I had a dream where the dick was below the balls.
Okay, that is a weird dream.
And I was like, what?
That's funny.
And I was like, what happened? Is I don't know, man. I just took down my pants and there it was, balls, then dick.
God, that would be such a much better life.
Wait, no,
because then
here's
you
the thing
wouldn't sit on your balls ever again.
If you think about it, rather than your dick resting on your balls, they would rest on your dick, and where it would be like flat at the top and stretch out, and then like bulbous at the end. It would look like you would have a Princess Leia haircut for your cock.
It would look like some eyes and a weird nose, probably.
Yeah.
Or it looked like a googly-eyed penis where the balls of the eyeball.
You know those little like hand toys where it's like googly eyes and you slip it around like your middle finger? That's what it would look like.
Like fucking Ubi, but for your cock and balls.
Wait, Ubi. Is that Nickelodeon show where it was all hands?
It was on like Noggin and Nick
hands, I'm
with like
surprised
the
it wasn't
bits
all
with the
feet.
eyes on them.
Dude, you actually remember.
There was a foot character.
You remember.
Of course
There was a
there
foot.
You remember that show? Holy shit.
I just watched a defunct TV episode on it the other day.
Oh, okay.
God, unlock
It,
memory.
it
you
wasn't a
cheated.
dream.
Okay.
But
It wasn't- okay, I knew about it. I watched Ubi as a kid.
God
Fuck.
damn.
Yeah, but would
Okay.
you have remembered it without seeing that YouTube video?
It wasn't.
I remember it was called Ubi, but I just never looked into it much.
Jesus Christ. This wasn't a dream, but since we're talking about foreskins, it reminds me when I was like 13 or 14, I discovered I was circumcised. Because here's the thing. No, here's the thing. When I was younger, I had heard about circumcision. I knew it involved like taking like off some of the dick, but I obviously since I didn't have a foreskin, I didn't know. And then one time I saw like a chart, and it was like circumcised and uncircumcised. And I looked at it and I'm like, wait a second, hold on. And I'm like, that's when my whole worldview shattered. I'm like, my whole life I thought I was uncircumcised, but I am, because I guess being circumcised, I thought getting circumcised like basically meant cutting off the tip, which admittedly doesn't make any sense. But since I didn't have the thing I was missing, I couldn't figure out what was missing my entire life.
Yeah.
That made me think of like the misconception I had with getting your tonsils removed. But I heard Logan, you would say something.
No, I was gonna say I don't know when I figured out what foreskin was. I don't think I learned until later into my teenage years. Actually, I don't think I. Yeah, because here's the thing, folks. I'm a bit of a sheltered child. Not gonna lie. I've seen some very unholy things growing up, but I didn't really fully understand what a period was until I was like 15. And being a man,
I didn't understand until I was 17.
well, okay,
I
that
understood
may,
what
I mean,
periods
okay.
were when I was like 14.
Well, you.
Well, I'm in a house of all men, and then there was my mom.
Well, there's
of
the
course,
thing.
my mom didn't fucking tell me that.
Well, that's
so.
the problem here, where I'm sheltered. I had two sisters. I mean, I
Your mom
have.
didn't tell you shit.
I have two sisters. Well, I don't know why I did past 10. One's dead.
Look at her fucking dead.
Dead to me, at least.
God.
In my
But her aim is getting better.
But her aim is getting.
in my mind, I am an only child. Okay, go ahead, Nathan. Whatever.
All right, yeah. So I had a misconception on how tonsils, like getting your tonsils removed. I had no idea that worked. All I was told is that they use like lasers and shit to remove it from your neck. So I thought they literally like cut open your neck from like the base and then go in. And then my childhood mind thought, wouldn't that just kill you? And here's the thing, it fucking would, but they don't do that.
Well, yes, because Nathan, tonsils are at the back of your throat. All they have to do is go through your mouth.
Yeah, I was a stupid fucking kid. I don't know why I didn't think they could do that.
I guess-
I literally thought they took lasers and went in through the throat, like stabbed me in the throat with like a laser, and then just cut it out.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised that you were stupid as a kid, because one time you literally pissed at a urinal without taking down your pants.
Classic story. Classic story.
Ah, shit.
I think
don't
you
even
told that
it
on-
went public.
No, I think you've told that one on the podcast.
That was in the supplementary episode that hasn't come out yet.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I should release that.
That
just
was the
eventually.
that was the piss episode.
Yeah, that was the piss.
That was a
episode.
piss
Supplementary.
topic.
It's a piss topic. Yeah.
I'm going to call by the way, since I've lost track of the number of the pod, I'm just going to call this the Foreskin pod. And whenever I say it,
17.
117.
I'm still calling it the Foreskin pod.
I mean, you
Doesn't
can
fucking
do
stop
that.
you before you just title all of your fucking.
What, does it not let you know exactly that it's my file?
I mean,
Nathan?
I get it, and I like download and file the episodes by like their episode number regardless, because I can change the name of it, but it's still kind of weird. And also, you just randomly sent me one of the episodes with the title, like with the extra text in the email that says, "I want a tit Scarlet Witch,"
and I
was like,
stand by that statement.
I mean, I would too. I would too. It's just weird that it got sent to me.
It's not weird.
Oh, look at that. Avengers 5 and 6 have been announced.
I mean, hell, Nathan, whenever we fucking do a podcast reviewing Thor Love and Thunder, you think I'm not going to say in the text, I want Natalie Portman to step on me? Because you're wrong.
I'm just thinking about censorship again. It keeps popping up.
Yeah,
That's
because you're the one
fucking
censoring.
fascist. You are a fucking fascist who refuses
I
to
just
let my
don't know
voice
if
be heard.
I just don't know if I want just to be said freely. It's graphic sounding.
Okay, so is sexually attractive genitalia, you fucking cuck.
I mean, that one is. I feel like that one is understandable.
I just kicked the shit out of my own foot.
If you said Mike, I was afraid Dylan was gonna like kick his mic.
I'll tell you right now, I would 100% do that for content.
Oh my god, you would just break that mic if we kept saying stuff about punching and kicking.
I literally would take a sledgehammer to this thing for a 5-second bit.
Gently caress your mic.
I just essentially
Did you give it a little?
aggressively jerked it off.
Did you give it a little? Can you hear this?
I just squeezed the pop filter and rubbed down.
Hold on, hold on.
I'm fingering mine.
I'm squeezing it.
I can't hear anything.
I can't hear yours either, but I'm pretty sure the Audacity files will show up plenty, so people in the audience are gonna love this section.
I'm fingering this one.
The pod ASMR.
Audience, POV, I'm giving that sloppy toppy. Okay. So, there's about a 2-inch wide full bar of audio on the track now.
Did you just deep throat your mic, dude?
I didn't really deep throat it, but I did put it in my mouth.
Oh my god, this is the fetish episode. Someone's gonna take that audio and they're going to use it for nefarious reasons. I guarantee.
I mean,
You have my full permission to do that, audience.
they don't need your fucking permission, buddy.
I'll give some moans if the audience really
no.
wants.
Oh my
They
god,
don't.
stop. Please.
We're not
begging
turning
you.
this into a male moaning ASMR
Please.
podcast.
Oh, I could do ASMR with this fucking mic. I'm not going to.
I can do ASMR.
I've done ASMR on PlayStation multiple
No,
times,
but there-
and Hump
there
muted
are
me for
literally-
it.
There are literally videos on YouTube of male moan ASMR and shit. Okay.
I know.
Hold on. Okay, I was about to clarify why I knew that so I wouldn't seem sus, and then Nathan just jumped in. Oh, I know. I know.
This is the sus episode.
It really is.
The imposter could be any one of us. And why is it Dylan?
He could even be.
I feel like
Among
if
Us?
I will kill you.
I
swear to God, I am going to learn via. Okay, well Nathan or Logan just left the call, and I don't
Logan
blame him.
left.
I
Okay,
just
I'm
needed a
going
minute.
to learn how to blacksmith on YouTube, forge a sword, and kill you with it after saying that dumbass shit. And that is a credible legal threat.
Hang on, Dylan. You saying that made me think of this pyramid scheme.
Dogecoin?
No.
All right, okay, This entire podcast has been a fucking train wreck, and once again, Nathan didn't do the intro. He's not doing the outro either. So once again, I gotta
can
shut
I do
up.
the outro?
I want to do the outro.
Yeah, Logan, do the outro.
Okay, I'll at least let Logan.
First of all, you saying this episode being a disaster, motherfucker. That's every episode.
I mean, yes,
Every
but I mean,
It's kind of an understatement at this point.
Just about every episode flies off the rails unless it's a movie review.
that's
So,
true. That is very true.
Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Nathan's a cocksucker,
I mean, I'm
and the
probably
audience,
censoring.
the audience.
I'm probably
deserves-
censoring.
You are a fascist, and this is literally 1984. My comedic creativity is being stifled by this man, dear audience.
So we thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the Bloomfeld podcast. Thank you guys for your continued love and support. If you want to find more of us, you can find us on Twitter at BloomfeldPod. It's on the About section in the channel. Let's see. Subscribe to our SoundCloud. Check us out on Spotify and Venmo, Cash App, twitch.tv/LoganTheKid. You can find
Be
all
sure
our
to check out Nathan's OnlyFans.
You can find all our personal Twitters tattooed to our penises. And we'll see you all.
Stop by a Logan stream, put a few extra inches.
Yes, all two of them. We'll see you guys. We'll you'll see us next time.
Well, you hear us.
Allegedly.
Wait, what did Hump just say? Wait, this get the fuck out.
What?
What does that mean?
Wait, did Hump?
Ignore
look
that.
Look in Hump's office. This is
Okay,
my office.
My office is my office for office.
Okay, we
shit.
did post that. Literally, one of the text channels now in our pod server is just Hump's office, and Hump got mad that we posted essentially a shit post in his office.
This is my office for
Look,
office shit.
Hump's gonna be a great secretary. I can already tell.
I'm so glad he's on the board now.
I'm fixing this. Give me a second. There. Fixed it.
Nice.
I want to see if Hump responds
Alright.
to this. We're not ending
Anyway.
we're not ending the episode.
Oh my
till he
fucking
responds.
god!
No, shut up.
I want to go to bed.
Quit blaspheming.
on a serious note, Dylan, do you want me just to remove the link to your Twitter on the about section because you don't fucking use it?
No,
Keep it. Yeah, keep it. I literally, you're correct. I literally deleted Twitter, and I never even used it when I had it downloaded. But keep it.
No.
I
Do you
mean,
just like what your
that's the thing.
Reddit fucking profile or something?
no, hell no. People, I do not want people seeing what I browse on Reddit.
There's so. Oh my god! What is it? It's just so much porn.
Oh my god, why is her dick that big?
There are no chicks with dicks, Dylan. Only guys with tits.
I will admit, about half of what I have saved in terms of posts
Chicks
on
with
Reddit.
dicks?
No, it's just normal porn. I'm not like you, Nathan. I'm not bisexual.
A.
I'm straight.
That concludes the
B.
first letter of the alphabet.
C, D, E.
A
F,
is
G.
for and time to end the pod, boys.
And B is for bisexual, which Nathan.
Which is what-
We'll see you
yeah.
guys in the next one. I'm hitting the stop button now.
Goodbye.
Oh, I might. Okay, I'm gonna hit it.